can. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are today. I am Denise Armenio, a certified emotion code, body code practitioner, genius biofeedback practitioner, and group energy facilitator practitioner. And what that really means is that I am certified to be able to hold space for up to 100 people at one time. So, um, when you're doing group sessions, it's always a benefit to have that. So, anyway, today, well, and I also have my special um helpers with me, Claire McIntyre and Connie Minnis, who are always here and present and helping out in the chats if I can't get to all of your questions. So always thank you to them. And today I am going to be working with the Terahertz technology and how we can use that and integrate it with the Genius. So some of you are familiar with it, some of you may not be familiar with it. So we're going to cover all of that today. I'm not going to go into huge detail about how it all works. I will give you some brief benefits of how it works. But if you need more information than that, you could always email me at Denise at Inside Health Apps, and I can send you some more information on that. We have different models. We have the basic 6.0, the 7.0, and my favorite, the quantum magic box. So I will probably be working mostly with this today just because it's easier to hold. It is my favorite. um, oh, and that's how loud it gets. But if you have specific questions on the other models, just let me know. I don't have the Pro model here, but if you have any questions, I'm sure I can help you answer that. And also, they pretty much work the same way as far as protocols and how you use it. So, my next question is, I was just wondering, Tamara, would you like to be a volunteer? Since I know that you um, have also been asking about how the wands work, and I thought I can help show you how the wand works and how it works with the Genius. So if you just want to put in the chat if you are willing to be a volunteer today, and then we can take you off mic. And I'm just going to move some of my, I don't know if you can, okay, great. So I'm just gonna unmute you and you can, I'm going to give you a little information first about the terahertz, and then I'll go into the Genius, and I'll share the screen on that. But the first thing I wanted to tell, well, can you guys put in the chat who here is familiar with the iTerahertz wand and magic box? Can you just put in, I guess, a 1 if you're, or a yes if you are familiar with it, and a no if you're not familiar with it. So let's just see. We're getting a yes. I'd love to hear. Nope. Yes, yes, no, 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 yes. Yes, a bit. Okay, so it's about 50-50. So that's great. So here, let me just, this is what we call the magic box. And just in case anybody is wondering on just pricing on these items, this is $497. The 6.0, I believe, Connie and Claire, correct me if I'm wrong, it's $649, and the 7.0 we may be out of stock on. But it's here in case anybody has it and you have a question on it. But the terahertz are really some of the benefits of using any of the wands or the magic box is that it activates normal cells, it repairs damaged cells, it recognizes and destroys abnormal cells, it it detoxes lymphatic circulation rapidly. It helps remove deep tissue coldness and dampness. And that has to do with a lot of, there's a lot of Chinese medicine uh, into the development of this device. So it does incorporate their theories. It strengthens the functioning of organs and it delays the onset of aging symptoms, which I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty cool for me. The other thing that it has, and the wands only have blue light, but the amazing thing about the Terahertz box is that it gives off red and blue light. So I know this is going to be a little bit loud for you guys, but I'm going to turn it on for just a second. So this is the high speed, and that's on cold air, which is really quite cold. But I don't know if you can see, that's the blue light that it gives off. And then if you switch it to red, that's the red light it gives off. I'm just going to turn it on off for just a second. But the difference between the red light and blue light, because I know everybody always asks me, well, like, what's the red light for? What's the blue light for? The red light is great for repairing, refining, and rejuvenating the skin. It boosts the flow while spurring the production of collagen and adenosine triphosphate, which is ATP, and improving skin tone and texture. So you'll see a lot of times when you're looking at different beauty websites, they will show you those like masks that you could wear close to your face and they have red light. That's the same as this red light that it's giving off. Although it's not just the red light that it's giving off, you're also taking in the terahertz frequencies and the benefits of all those things I just told you up above. So that's pretty incredible. The other thing that the magic box has that the wands don't have is that this mirror here has the frequencies of zinc, titanium, and iodine in it. So you will also pick up those frequencies as well. I believe it's about 10,000 negative ions are given off. So that's going to help you with grounding. The beach, when we go to the beach, there's all negative ions there. So that's why it's so healthy for you when you go. And you'll also find some hair dryers have negative ions and it cuts back on the frizz. Well, I can tell you that I dry my hair with this every day and my hair does not get frizzy. So if you're just looking for some, non-healing benefits, and it is also really good for your hair too, but I do use it to dry my hair. So it's awesome for that. And then for some blue light, the blue light is for, it treats acne, it's soothing and it's purifying. So, those are just some of the benefits. You can search more. The other interesting benefit to red light, now I would do this with your eyes closed, but red light is, I have read some reports that it's good for your eyesight. So you can always blow it a little bit on your eyes while they're closed. And I'm trying to think. When you're blowing on your head, my recommendation is always to have it on the coolest setting possible. Just because if you're not aware, sometimes we can get brain inflammation from like heavy metals or things that cross the blood-brain barrier. And to have the coolest amount of air possible is best if you have the wands that don't they have a cool setting, but it doesn't get quite as cold as the magic box, and that's another reason why I really recommend this over the wands. I wouldn't hold the wand as close to your head because you don't really want to heat it up. And for those that may have high blood pressure, I wouldn't wand your head at all. And if you're and you may not want to use the wands with the heat if you have a known brain inflammation. So those are just a few little things. The other thing, if you have these, do not wand or blow the air where you have implants of any kind. So if you weren't born with it, if there's something implanted, being rods or screws or breast implants or implants anywhere, don't blow on those areas. You could always blow on a diagram from, of the body if you want to get those areas with intention and blow there, but I would not blow directly on your body. The another amazing thing that you can do with this is create structured water, and that is recommended and encouraged to do before and after you wand. Warm water is recommended, and you can wand the water um, through a glass. I would not use metal or plastic containers, but it doesn't take long to structure your water. I use a 2-gallon glass container, and I'll wand that usually every morning, maybe for 5 minutes. I muscle test to see if it's done, but I don't even think you need that much time. I think it's much quicker than that. But if you do use a pendulum or muscle test, you can test to see when the water is structured. So, does anybody have any questions before I start integrating, showing you how I use it with the Genius? There are, whoops, let's let Cheryl in. The other things that are important to note when you do start wanding is to wand the palms of each of your hands and your feet, and then you can get your run up and down the front of your body and the back of your spine. You want to get the joints, your elbow joints, your armpits, because there's a lot of lymphatics there. You can get the backs of your knees. And if you have any like pain areas, you can wand those. And for me, when I wand, I'll just do my hands, each hand for about a minute. Sometimes if I have like it's a cell phone stand actually. And I had this before I had my magic wand, but if you put that in, it stays nicely, and then I can actually get both my hands at the same time, or I can put my feet up and get both my feet at the same time. So if you want little time-saving tips. The last really cool thing that I just want to show you is on the magic box, there's this little rubber thing in the back that pulls out. Let me see if I could just get it. It's like this. I don't know if you could see it. And it's hard to maneuver to get the camera angle. Inside, that's like a black sponge, and you can put essential oils in there. And I use that all the time. And when you have it running, you can smell the essential oils, and it smells so nice. So those are some little tips. So now let me just screen share. I just want to look at some of these questions. Does the box need to be plugged into the wall outlet, or can it? You can plug it into a surge protector. Absolutely. I do, in fact, have it plugged into one. And Margaret, you have the 7.0. I wanted to use it on my hair. and have that option, but I would like the box at some point too. You can use them both on your hair 100%. Again, anybody with a known, if they know if they have brain inflammation, you may not want to, or at least not use it closed, but I don't. And you could always use it with you would use it with the cool air with the magic box, which is great. And I think that's all the questions I see in the chat box. So I have to find my share buttons here because, whoops, my share screen. Okay, guys, I'm having some tech issues here. I can't get everything out of the way. Okay, so here we are. So, whoops. Tamara, if you want to take your video on and your mic, open your mic.
Hey,
Hello, hello. Your
hi.
last name, Hartman or Hardman?
Hardman.
Okay. And your birth date?
March 27th, 75.
Okay. So for anybody new to the Genius, this is how you would set up a new client. You put all the information in here. And at the bottom right, it says continue with new analysis. If you were in the middle of the session and you ran out of power, or for some reason you had to exit out of your session and you came back into the Genius, you could load the current client results if you had already started a session, and all that information would still be there for you. But we're starting with a new analysis here. And this page is just for your own reference. It does not affect the scan whatsoever. So I'm just going to bypass this. Tamara, did you have anything specific that you wanted to work on today? Pain?
Yeah, sure. Let's do back pain.
Your back pain. Okay, so I will put that in. And can you rate your back pain today on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being severe?
So I've been using the wand on it, so it's actually not as bad as it was. So I'm going to give it about a 4.
Okay, great. 4 out of 10. And what part of your back?
Lower.
Lower. Okay. Anywhere else?
Like any, what do you mean?
Pain anywhere else?
Nope.
Any emotional? Anything?
Well, there's always emotional stuff.
Because we are going to run a Genius too, so you're going to get a little
Let,
combination of the both.
can we do menopausal stuff?
We can. I'd rather work with the symptom. So like, what's your symptom of that?
So hot flashes.
So for me, like, menopausal is the issue, but that's really like, could be hormones. It could be a bunch of different things.
100% hormones.
So, for anybody that may not have a specific menopause library, like, don't sweat it. There's hormones built right into the Genius, and you can work with those. So, that always helps. I'm going to hit begin here on the bottom. And now this brings us to the page where we use our voice recognition. So Tamara, I'm gonna count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, begin. And then I just want you to say your first and last name and then repeat the vowels A, E, I, O, U until this 15-second counter here gets to 0. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Tamara Hardman. A-E-I-O-U. 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 A-E-I.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so on the bottom left, you will see it says voice harmonics. And I recommend that everybody presses this before you go on to the next screen. This actually will show you how the Genius uses its technology to translate your spoken word, what you just said, into a frequency. And it works similar to a homeopathic where like cancels out like. Okay, so now we can hit next. Make a screen. And let me grab that picture. Okay, so I'm just going to hit continue. And now if I click on this avatar, since I've already added your picture to my photos, I select existing photo.
You didn't let me smile first.
Sorry. And I can just select use. And I can hit begin and again, we just follow the prompts and hit continue. Now it's asking energetic affirmations. So I like to use energetic affirmations, and what this does is it will translate the affirmation into a frequency, and it will overlay that frequency throughout all the scans that we run within that session. So the one I like to use, and you can use any one, whichever one is your favorite, or if you're working on a specific one during on that day or that week, you can definitely put it in. I like to add all energies are transmuted into the frequency of pure love. And so it is. Okay, and then we just hit OK there. Now, anybody who is on trial or owns the basic version of the Genius, this is what you will see, the 3 categories, body, biofield, and mind. If you have created libraries or purchased libraries, or you may have friends that have shared with you libraries, you will want to go to your back office by clicking on these 3 lines at the top and select libraries. And now I can add all of my libraries. Oop, I think I got it. And I also have master branch libraries, which master branch libraries, for anybody unclear of what they are, it's a collection of libraries. So think of the title name, the master branch title name, as a book title. And then within that book, you have chapters. Those chapters are your panels. And if you select on that panel, you will then see the content within the panel. So it's a nice way if you have a bunch of different libraries all on a specific topic and you want to uh, have them all in one place when you're working with the Genius, you can create a master branch library. Or for example, the bioterrain master branch libraries are all different panels that relate to the bioterrain, so they are all in one panel in one place. So hopefully that will explain it to anybody who may have been unclear on that. So now that I've added all those to my list, you can now see the banner for custom libraries pops up, and we're going to hit begin in it. So the first thing that's important to note about the genius is what these numbers on the right-hand side mean. And the genius uses a numerical value system. It runs from 0 to 777, and that's broken up into 4 different categories. So between 0 and 100 is represented by the color blue, and items in this range are observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. In Chinese medicine, that can also be referred to as stagnant energy or under energy. We then go from 101 to 450, and that's represented by the color green. And then from there, we go from 451 to 688, and that's the color represented by the color yellow. And lastly, 689 to 777 is represented by the color red, and that would be for acute energetic disturbances. So, energetic disturbances that are happening now in the present. In Chinese medicine, they may be referred to as heat, inflammation, or over energy. Maybe getting too much information, too much energy. What it's not telling you, and sometimes people make this mistake, it's not specifically telling you, for example, if you're looking at vitamins, red doesn't mean like it's too much, you have too much of it, and blue doesn't mean you have too little. It's really telling you that it's out of balance, but it could be out of balance one way or the other. So, I hope everybody's understands that. The genius also is not diagnostic in the allopathic sense, um, but it is used in to diagnose. I don't even want to use that word, so scratch that. It's telling you where there's energetic disturbances, and if we clear these energetic disturbances that are in our biofield, in our field, they won't penetrate to our physical body. So that is important, and it is why it is so important to use these frequencies as, on a daily basis, or just be part of your lifestyle. Just like you want to eat healthy, you will also want to make sure that your energy body is staying healthy as well. After that, on the left-hand side, you see these arrows. That is there to indicate to you that there is information below. So if you look at this like your chapter, your infection under body, we have all these different chapters. If you click on these lines, it will give you more information that you can go a little bit deeper. So from here, the next thing I'd like to do before I get started with anything is get your aura picture. And by that, you can click on the line for aura. Okay, so when we look at the auras, we like to see bright, vibrant colors, and they're the colors of the chakras. And this, I love this bright pink that's right next to your physical body. That's great. As we get out a little bit, it's getting a little fuzzy and muted. That could be an indication of stagnant energy, some interference. It could be your adrenals are a little tired, or maybe you've been working, you've done a lot of sessions on yourself in that day, although I don't. Do you have have you signed up for the trial yet? Did you get the trial yet?
I haven't started it yet. I wanted to have this meeting first so I knew how to use it.
Okay, great. Well, you're in the right place. Anyway, there are some things like there's a little hint of grayish kind of area in there that you would want to clear up. But again, it's not like close to your body. So as it gets out, it's kind of gets out further into time and space. We could also look at the old version, which these lines that are going across are interference in some way. And in here, there's some more interference. So usually when I see these gray colors, it's usually an indication for me to look at the spiritual protection library, because sometimes they're just like negative energies that are in there. Could also be like in your emotions, some of the lower frequencies emotions like shame or guilt. There could be a lot of like negative energies attached to those as well. And the next thing I like to do is I will go into my custom libraries. If you don't have the custom libraries, I will would work with everything in this bio field and would add the to the main hold tray. I am going to go to my library that I use here. Whoops, I have to hit an analysis. So now I'm just going to search. It's the bioterrain, and it's this vessel priming frequencies. And I'm just going to drag the whole name of this library down. It has 150 line items in it, so I didn't have to drag and drop them, or you can use these pluses if you didn't drag that all and just add the reds, yellows, greens, and the blues. For this particular panel, I do like having them all, so I will run them all now. This kind of helps prepare your body to take in the frequencies better. And I would say that is true too when you're using the wand or anything like that as well. You can run this library for a minute, even a minute or two, and then you can drink your structured water and then use your wand in the certain areas that you want to use it. This library is basically working with your all of your biofield. It is also working with your minerals, vitamins, so that there's a lot of healthy additions. All your essential vitamin minerals or those frequencies are being used. So we're going to run this for, whoops, 1 minute. Okay, so you did great. What we like to look for here is above 40% rectification, and you do have that at 49%. The other thing I like to look at is that harmony, alignment, and energy flow remain somewhat tight between like 20%. If that is the range is too big, then it may not hold as well, and you may need to run these frequencies again. But I'm happy with that 49% there. And so I'm going to back out. If you select this up arrow to the left of where it says main hold tray, we can clear this tray out. The letters are small up here on the bottom, I mean on the top right, but it says clear all. And I'm going to close that. And the next thing I always do, I'm not going to go here today just because we have about 20 minutes left, and I want to show you how I use the wands or the magic box with the Genius. So I don't want to take away from that time, but I would always go next into the general overview. So if you press on system overview, it will bring you to general overview. However, what I want to look at first here is the meridians, because for those of you who have worked with the wands or the terahertz technology, you know that they stress working on different meridians and meridian points. So when you're here, you can see automatically that there is the gallbladder meridian and the large intestine meridian are out of balance. The large intestine meridian has been out of balance a longer period of time, but I like to work with the uh, meridians that are red first, only because the red tend to be over energy, and we want to balance out the meridian system. So wherever that there's extra energy, we kind of want to open up those channels so it flows where there may not be getting enough energy. Now, Margaret knows a little bit better, but that's how I would work with that. Um, so here, if we click on the line for gallbladder, it will now tell you the points. Now, for those of you that have no experience or that much knowledge in the meridians, it's great because we have the pictures here. So we can look at GB33, and I know that these are really small, but GB33 is going to be around the knee. So it's right here below the joint. So you would normally be hitting that anyway. So I don't know. Guys, I'm going to leave this to your imagination because I'm not that flexible to get your knee up here, but I would run the Genius on both the backs of your knee points um, and run that there for a minute or so. You can also go to GB44, and that point is right on your toe, on the toe next to your little toe. So I'm going to run this for you right now. And I am going to run it on myself with the intention that it's for you. So I'm going to run these points right now. I'm just going to do this for a few seconds. I'm not going to do it for the whole amount of time. You could also be doing this on a picture. I would not do a photo on a screen. I did that once, and the picture disappeared off my iPhone. So I would not recommend that. I don't know if it could really mess up your devices. So keep the images to traditional printouts, or in a book if you have, like anatomy photographs. So I just ran the backs of my knees, and now I'm just getting the tops of my toes on that point where GB44 is. Sorry, you guys, I know you can't see that, but you can hear it, so you know I'm doing something. You can also then go, and I'm not going to go through all of these points down here, but I think you get the idea on how you can blend using the Genius and this terahertz technology on all these different points. You could go one by one. And then the other thing you can do is add these points. So I would add the blue and the red as well. And we can run those. And I'm just going to run all of these for about 30 seconds. So you had a 64% rectification here, so that's great. Now again, I worked with the gallbladder meridian. Now I want to go to your large intestine, and I am going to add the red and the blue items here. And we can run all of these. And Margaret, I see your question. So Margaret's question is, if someone has the box, the magic box, and a remedy plate, could they take the rubber piece out of the box and infuse it with genius frequencies to flow through the box with the terahertz? Um, I don't know that that the sponge itself would hold the frequencies as well. I'm sure you could try it, but you could always use like coconut oil and infuse the frequencies in coconut oil that you want to use from the remedy plate, and then uh, drop the coconut oil with the infused frequencies in that sponge. Does that make sense? I just don't know that I think that that will hold the frequencies better than that black little sponge will. I know that if you infuse frequencies like on those Live Strong um bracelets, those will hold the frequencies. And what I'm actually just thinking about, guys, if you have an Apple Watch, these nylon bands probably hold frequencies. I wouldn't do it with your watch on it, but you could probably take the band off and put those on a remedy plate, and it will probably hold frequencies for you. So that's just another um little way to little tip. Thank you, Margaret, for that question. So let's just run. Did we just run these? Sorry, I'm trying to answer a bunch of different questions at once. I would run this also on the lower part of your back, like you're already doing. Okay, so you have 40% rectification on those, and that's fantastic. Now, the next thing I would like to do is go use that spiritual protection program. Panel for you, and I'm going to add all of those in. We worked with them already a little bit when we ran the first frequencies because that was in that library that I used, but I also just want to work with them a little bit more. And let's go to a pain library to help with your back. And I'm going to add all the reds and the blues here. It's just interesting to see. It does show the PEMF wearable for the Genius shows is something that would be good for you as well. Just trying to look and see what's in here. Not seeing a whole lot of back, but we have some. Oh, here we go. If I pass anything that says back, let me know. Back pain. And now I'm going to go into a set of libraries where we can target more of your back. And muscles. And we also, I'm talking out loud to myself, but I don't want to forget looking at the hormones for you. So we'll get there in a second. Okay, so now I just wanted to go to the beginning and go to where the hormones are. And I'm going to add them all. Okay, so let's work with these. I'm going to select all and run them all for 1 minute. So you could be running this and then you could be, using your wand on your back or on the palms of your feet all at the same time. But always make sure you have your water before and after. And like I said, they recommend that it's warm water. So again, a 65% rectification and your harmony, alignment, and energy flow is they're all pretty in line there. So that's terrific. Um, uh, so Timmy, you're asking what kind of water before and after. The structured water is what they recommend. So when you when you hold the wand, you either run the wand or the magic box against a glass box. Some people do it on top. I always get nervous that it's going to splash because when you have it on high, it's pretty powerful. So if it's on a full glass of water, it's going to splash out. And so I recommend it goes through the glass just fine. So you can run it there and then drink 2 glasses of the warm structured water before and after your session. And so did I just rescan this? Scan this and then run highs and lows for 3 minutes. Okay. Jackie, you can email me on that, on your question on the different types of remedy plates. Oh, yes, and Claire, structure the water before you drink it. I think that's what you're saying, right, Claire?
Well, Margaret was asking whether you should imprint it first and then structure it, and I would do it structure, then imprint it.
Yes. You mean structure? You mean
Water.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't, are you talking about when you put it in that little rubber piece? I wouldn't put water in that because I would be afraid it would drip. That's why I was saying like the coconut oil. Um, so I guess you could potentially, if the coconut oil is liquid, you could structure that as well. You could structure the coconut oil and then
It would
imprint the
melt. It would
frequency.
melt really well.
Yeah, you can imprint the frequencies into that. That would be like a double whammy. Margaret, let me know how that works. And you guys are hearing these frequencies okay, right? I figured out how to, okay. And don't forget, everybody, if you have a remedy plate, you can infuse your structured water with the frequencies as well and bring them into your body. And the beautiful thing about the structured water is it brings the water back to its most natural state. Number one, of how the water is in our body naturally occurs structured, but you know, uh, at the tops of mountains, really, or springs where the water is its purest, is where the water, I believe, is most structured. So, and you absorb those frequencies better when they're more structured. It has an extra hydrogen molecule, so it's almost like H3. So that's the importance of it and why the benefit of the structured water. Okay, so you have 9% here. So I would run this again. I'm going to run it for 30 seconds and see what happens. In the meantime, how is your back feeling? Do you notice any differences or changes?
Um, no, but I think
That's
it hurts
okay.
more when I'm sitting anyways, so no, I haven't noticed a difference.
That's okay. You may need to run the frequencies a little bit longer. So now we had a 49% rectification. So sometimes um, more isn't always better. A little 30-second hit right there brought you from a 9% to a 49%. So that's a significant change there. And even with the harmony, alignment, and energy flow, you're within that 20%. So I'm still happy with that. Let's go back now and just see what your aura is looking like, and we can finish with some grounding frequencies. So we can run the analysis here again. Okay, so we see some green. We might want to see that to be a little brighter and green, but it's looking good. And I like that more color is coming into your aura where it was more like kind of gray and a little bit of black in here. So that's looking better. So that looks, I'm happy with that. So let's just go right now and we will work with, I'm going to add the, whoops, red and blue Bach flower essences. And we're going to work with some of the Alaskan gems and bring those up. And let's run this. So this is the quick sap. So I'm just going to run these for a minute here for you. Oh, wait, I just also want to add We can add these 3 into the tray and press play. No, you don't need a new picture to test it. As long as you run frequencies, it works on a probability of what you're like. So yes, Margaret, I would terahertz the water and then put it on the remedy plate and infuse the frequencies. Yep, you got it. So you have a 28% rectification. I would like to see 40, but I'm happy with that right now. So let's just go see how your or so it's bringing up again. I like what's close to your body. It's that bright green. Again, it's a little murky out here, so you probably need to work on that a little bit more. So that would be my recommendation. And again, we see some interference lines in here. So it's all good. We're all changing every time you work, sometimes you're stirring things up so that you can clear them. So just because this murkiness is showing up on the outside, it doesn't mean that anything worse has happened. And that's the beautiful thing about using these frequencies is that your body is only going to take in what it needs. It's not going to take in what it doesn't need. So the important thing is how you're feeling. I don't know if you feel any difference yet. Hopefully.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. As soon as you finish that second, like that 30-second one, after you asked me how my back was, that one little glitch in the bottom, it went away like just like that. It was weird.
So
So
your pain is gone now in your back?
I would put it down to a 2 instead of a 4.
Okay, so 50%. So that's great.
Yeah.
So, and we only worked with it a little bit. Again, normally I also work in the Genius, in the general overview, which will bring up reds and blues from all the different libraries that you're using and also all the panels on the system panel. So they're items that you may not think to look at that could potentially be the root cause of things. So that is an important piece. I was just trying to juggle the two different devices today and how we blend them and work them in together. And I hope it's helped. So for those of you that do have the wand and the Genius, did you find this helpful? Can you put that in the chat? Or was it confusing? Do you want just another training on just the terahertz technology, or what do you think? How about you, Margaret? I know that you liked it. So everybody's saying yes, it's helpful. Okay, awesome. Again, any questions, email me, Denise at Inside Health Apps. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. It is 3 o'clock and I have a session I need to get to. So as always, it is a pleasure working with you guys every week and to helping you learn some new tips and tricks working with the Genius. So everybody have a great week. I look forward to seeing you all next week, and bye-bye for now. Bye.